Hi everyone, Ashlene and Stacey here, and we are teachers from Cavan Institute's Architectural Technology and Design and 3D Design and Graphic courses. You're very welcome to this video podcast, and if you're watching, then you're interested in studying design at Cavan Institute. So we're joined by three of our past pupils. We have Roisin, who studied Architectural Technology and Design, and we also have Ara and Lana, who studied 3D Design and Graphics. We're going to ask them a series of questions that will give you an idea of how both of these design courses and where it can lead you both educationally and professionally. So we're going to start with you, Roisin. You're very welcome to our podcast today. And I was wondering, can you tell us what you've been up to since you've left Cavan Institute? Where are you now?
So since leaving Cavan Institute, I applied to many colleges and universities through my CAO, and in round 0, I managed to get a level 8 course in TUD Dublin for architectural technology. So I'm in year 1 in that, and it's a 4-year course, and I have been enjoying that since. It's a full-time course. It's 38 hours a week, so it's long days, but very, very practical, so I'm never really bored in it. So I'm happy out doing that.
Good, and so you're in first year of that, so that's brilliant. And you studied the Architectural Technology and Design with us in Cavan Institute. You did that in year 1. How have you felt that course has helped you in your course in TUD?
Yeah, so a lot of the modules that I've done in Cavan Institute I have been able to transfer over to TUD Dublin. The likes of architectural drawing, I use that mostly now because most of my assignments are hand drawn. In parametric CAD, I learned like loads of skills in Revit, and that's a full module in TUD Dublin as well. So I'm a bit ahead of everyone in terms of that. But I love that module. I know it's only 3 hours of a day, but it's great to get that bit in a week. So, and even AutoCAD as well, I learned a lot of skills from that, and that can be transferred over for doing little details to help me in my assignments. We have been doing model making in TUD Dublin, so I learned a lot of skills from that, even with materials, and combined materials at Cavan Institute, so that helped me a lot. And even building construction, that's a big module in TUD Dublin, so anything that I've learned in Cavan Institute has been transferred over to TUD Dublin, so I'm well off in terms of skills and stuff.
Brilliant. And what did you enjoy most about your time in Cavan Institute? I know you were big into sports as well as your architectural course.
Yeah, so I did do GAA while I was in Cavan Institute, and I have luckily managed to manage my time with it. I know I was missing a few classes with traveling to games and stuff, but I always managed to like catch up on everything that I've done. And just being around another team as well. Like I had kind of 2 teams really while I was in Cavan Institute. So if I wasn't in room 112, I was up in Dublin, or I was in Cavan really playing matches and stuff. That even helped me with getting into TUD Dublin. I managed to get a scholarship through that. It was funny enough, we did play a game up in Grangegorman in TUD Dublin. So, and I was seen by one of their managers. So even getting kind of a look in really with them, I did have to do 3 interviews to try and secure my place on a QQI. There was only 6 positions, and I had my 10 distinctions, but there was 2 other students, I think, with 10 distinctions trying to get in the same position. So I managed to make up a portfolio of all the stuff that I've done at Cavan Institute. So I was happy out when I got a message that I was given an offer. So that really helped.
That's brilliant, Roisin. And you worked really well and really hard when you were in Cavan Institute. You got your 10 distinctions. You had an amazing portfolio, and you brought that forward to get your place in TUD. So it's brilliant. Have you any advice to anybody who will be looking to apply to do this course?
Probably just even. I wasn't really sure of what I really wanted to do. I know coming into Cavan Institute, I kind of wanted to do teaching in construction and design and communication graphics, but when I did architectural technology and design, I kind of fell towards the whole architectural technology side of things. So if you're really practical and you love kind of making things and seeing how things work and how structures stand, I would definitely recommend it. It's really informative and it's really interesting. I find it absolutely brilliant. And I'm always asking questions every day, like how things are made and how things are formed. So it's a really interesting course, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone that's into construction and design.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Roisin, and it's really lovely to see you. I would just like to hand you back over to Stacey, who is going to have a little chat with Ara, who studied 3D design and graphics with us at Cavan Institute.
Thank you, Ashlene. Ara, you're so welcome to Cavan Institute's podcast. We're so delighted to have you and that you took the time out. I know you're in the middle of lectures today, but we stole you for an hour so we could chat to you. So tell us a little bit about what's been happening with you since you left Cavan Institute.
Hi, Stacey. So since leaving Cavan Institute, I got a place at UCD to study architecture. It's a 5-year course, but you have the option to do the first 3 years, take a year out to work, and then go back to finish your last 2 years and get your master's. But since leaving and attaining the admission, I got a job in the summer initially to work with a company called Stacey, and I basically used all the experience that I acquired from Cavan Institute. And so that would be my CAD experience and my communication skills that I'd acquired, and use that to secure a job. And I did that until college started. But in between that time, I also took some time out to travel, just one last time to see other countries. So I went to Japan and then came back, worked I think for 2 weeks, and then started my college. And that's been good. So I'm in my 3rd year now. So first year, architecture was Cavan Institute was like a foundation for all the things that we started learning. So I did all those, I acquired all those skills regarding CAD and model making, photography, Photoshop, and furniture making. And I got to apply all of that in my first year. Although first year was more, we did a lot of sketches and hand drawings. So I used a lot of the skills that I acquired at Cavan Institute in my first year. And then going on to 2nd year, that's when all my Photoshop experience then came into play. It was really handy having Photoshop, having photography. It was very, 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 very useful to acquire those. And now going to 3rd year, again, because I had a foundation from Cavan Institute, it put me on a good stand so that I could progress easily. And so, yeah, I would say it's been very, very good. And I know that everything that I'm able to do is because I had that foundation from Cavan Institute. So, yeah.
Brilliant, Ara, brilliant. It sounds really interesting. I'm sure it's and very diverse, challenging, I'm sure at times, but really interesting course. And how did you secure your position or your place in UCD?
So I had to go for an interview, but I also was required to bring my portfolio with me. And in the 6 months academic 6 months that I'd done, I'd covered so much work that when I got to the interview and showed off my portfolio, they were so impressed with my work. So they looked at everything. I think one of the guys actually looked at my portfolio a few times because he was so impressed. And they kept asking me where I got my experience, my skills from, and I said Cavan Institute. And they just couldn't believe how much I'd covered. But then when I got into 1st year, I realized why they kept asking and why they're so impressed. It's because a lot of the things that I'd covered, we're going to do them again in 1st year. So yeah, it was good to have that advantage, having experienced all those things and having gone through the design process like the brainstorming map, what's it called?
Mind maps?
Mind maps, thank you. That came in so handy. It's amazing. So yeah, thank you.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you, Ara. And sorry, just one thing, you commute from Cavan to Dublin, haven't you done that for the last 3 years? So how has that been? Is it feasible? Is it doable?
Definitely doable if you know that you want it. I mean, if you put your mind to anything, you can achieve. So yeah, living in Dublin wasn't an option for me because it was too expensive and it was only a bus commute. And in that time, I sort of utilized that to help me finish some of my work on time. And so first year, I had to do a lot of my sketches on the bus on my way to Dublin. Second year, because we now started using computers, so I did a lot of my work on my laptop whilst on the bus. So I didn't lose any time in that regard because I was still putting my time to good use. So it is doable if anyone wanted to do it. If you really wanted to do it, yeah, you do it. Yeah,
brilliant. And I guess the last question is, would you give any advice to anyone applying for the course in the 3D design and graphics course here at Cavan Institute?
So, what I'd say is make the most of the opportunity, because you do learn a lot and you don't realize how much you learn. I had an issue with model making and I couldn't understand why they kept saying make models. I was like, why do I have to make models? I understand what I want to do. But then when I got to college, I realized that making models was actually the best way for me to process my design ideas. So embrace everything, run with it, enjoy it. I think that's the thing, enjoy it, because also what you need to remember is, even if you don't go off to college, to university to study architecture or anything else, you can use those skills that you acquire to get into employment. And you can also use those skills to set up a business. A lot of people are setting up businesses. So photography, for instance, you can use that to set up business. All the courses that you learn are hands-on, and you can apply them in other areas of life. So yeah, I would say go for it and enjoy it, please. That's the most important thing, enjoy it.
That's really good advice, Ara. I think I might go and do the course. So I'd just like to thank you so much for taking the time out. It really was lovely to see you, especially after being in Cavan Institute 3 years ago. You know, it's lovely to catch up and hear more, and definitely be great for you to come again and we can chat again about it. But thanks so much for taking the time out, because I know you're in the middle of lectures at the minute, so you can get back to that now.
Yeah,
thank you
for having me.
Thank you. So I'm going to hand you over to Ashlene, who's going to chat to Lana about her course and her experiences.
Great. Thank you very much, Stacey. Lana, how are you? It's lovely to see you. It really is. And you studied the 3D design and graphics with us at Cavan Institute as well. And you are now moved over to Sligo, right?
Yeah.
So how is that going for you?
I love it. Yeah, I really like the course. I'm in interior architecture, and it's just like I really like the course. I think it's brilliant, and like I know it's not on campus at the minute, but I can't wait till it is on campus and you get to fully experience it.
Brilliant. How did you find your time with us at Cavan Institute? I know it's been 2 years since you were with us, but how did you find it, and what did you enjoy most about your course?
I loved Cavan Institute. I loved the year, and it flew. The year goes so quick in it, but the stuff you learn in it is like, it stands with you the whole time that you go on. I loved the furniture making in it, and also then AutoCAD and Photoshop. I really enjoyed them, and I felt like I gravitated more towards them. But also the theory end of the course, it really helped me this year, because sometimes you're thrown in at the deep end when doing academic assignments. But it helped me being able to structure them. And Cavan Institute also teaches you how to do the stuff, like instead of being told when you get to Sligo or wherever you go, instead of being told you have to do this, in Cavan it breaks it down and it teaches you how to do each thing.
Brilliant, brilliant. And what did you enjoy most about the different kind of modules? Did you have any particular ones that you felt have really helped you in your course in Sligo?
The design, combined materials and design process really stood to me this year, because it teaches you from how to start the assignment the whole way through. and what to break down through the assignment. And the furniture making really stood to me as well, because you understand more how form. I found that really helpful this year.
Brilliant, brilliant. And any advice for anyone who would be interested in doing the 3D design course?
I went to the open days and I thought they were brilliant, because you get to talk to the career guidance and stuff. So I think they really help you in what direction. And then in the end, I ended up talking to Stacey on one of the introduction days. And even being able to see other portfolios from past years really helped to see, like, that's what I wanted to do and stuff like that. So I think enjoy it for the year.
Great, great. Well, look at ladies, it's been wonderful talking to you, and you know, it's great to catch up and see how you're all doing so well in your courses. From Roisin, you're studying, you know, your architecture technology in TUD, and Lana, you're in Sligo doing interior architecture, and Ara, you know, you're in UCD doing architecture, and it just shows you how these courses can take you into lots of different areas and options available to you, both educationally and professionally. We've had lots of students going straight into employment having completed the course. I know you alluded to that, Ara, as well. But it's wonderful to see how you guys are getting on, how you're progressing. Any last bit of advice for prospective students out there?
Just one from me. If you really want to explore or try this, I would recommend Cavan Institute. The tutors are very, very knowledgeable. So if you're going in there, you're going to be getting a lot for your time and your money. It's worth everything. So go for it.
Oh, thank you very much, Ara. That was lovely and wonderful advice for all of those watching. So guys, we hope that you enjoyed the video podcast and you found it informative. And if you'd like to apply to do either of these courses or to get more information, please visit our website at cavaninstitute.ie, where you will be able to see examples of portfolios. We have some nice details up there that you can have a little look if you want to learn more about the particular courses. We hope that you enjoyed our conversation today, and we really look forward to seeing you in September, and thank you for joining us.